Chosen one, listen carefully. Someone high up just connected a few dots about you, and now they can't stop thinking about you. You didn't seek attention, you didn't announce yourself, and yet Allah has made your presence impossible to ignore. Their fixation is not random, it is a sign that your patience, your discipline, and your unwavering faith are being recognized. This moment is not by chance. It is a divine signal that Allah is moving in your life in ways others cannot yet understand. Today, you will learn 7 powerful lessons that will reveal why this attention matters, how it is part of Allah's plan, and what it truly means for your destiny. Pay close attention, because this is your time to rise quietly but undeniably under Allah's perfect guidance. Chosen one, understand this with the depth your heart deserves. Allah did not reveal you prematurely because He knew the world would see your rawness, your struggles, your moments of doubt, and would misinterpret them as weakness, but He has a perfect timing for everything. And He waited until your character, your patience, and your reliance on Him was so firmly rooted that no worldly observation could shake you, no praise could inflate you, and no scrutiny could intimidate you. For years you were being tested in silence through hardship, disappointment, betrayal, and trials that felt unbearable. Yet each trial was a divine shaping, a refining fire that purified your intentions and strengthened your heart to remain steadfast in His path. And now, when someone high up finally notices you, it is not by chance. It is the culmination of this divine process, a sign that Allah has deemed you ready to be seen, to be recognized, to step into influence without being consumed by ego or distraction, and that their attention is merely a reflection of Allah's preparation, a confirmation that your readiness aligns with His perfect decree. So stand firm in humility and gratitude, knowing that every silent struggle, every unseen sacrifice, and every moment you chose Allah over convenience has led to this exact moment, where your presence cannot be ignored, and your purpose begins to manifest in ways even the most powerful observers cannot fully comprehend. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply, for it carries weight beyond what the eyes can see and the mind can comprehend. What you are witnessing is not casual curiosity, fleeting interest, or idle observation, but something far more profound: recognition of Allah's hand in your life, recognition of the patience, discipline, and sincerity that no one else could manufacture or fake, recognition of a soul that has been tested, refined, and elevated quietly while the world remained blind to your struggles and triumphs alike. Those who are high up, who wield influence and authority, do not easily stop at coincidence. They see patterns, they sense alignment, and they recognize when someone carries a divine favor that cannot be overlooked. And so when they fixate, it is not because they are impressed by superficial accomplishments or flashy displays, but because Allah has connected the dots in such a way that even human perception cannot ignore what is guided by divine wisdom. And this recognition unsettles them because it exposes the invisible support, the unseen discipline, the unshakable faith that has sustained you, the consistency of character under pressure, the unwavering reliance on Allah, and the silent victories that no one applauded but Allah Himself. It is in this recognition that your influence begins to ripple, not through force or ego, but because the unseen order of Allah has made you impossible to overlook, and their focus, whether they understand it or not, is a reflection of what Allah has already accomplished in your life, a sign that you are aligned with His plan, and that your presence in this moment is a signal that your time to rise, quietly yet unmistakably, has arrived. And those who notice are only witnesses to the unfolding of what Allah has been orchestrating all along. Chosen one, understand this reality with complete clarity. Allah moves in your life according to His perfect wisdom, not your timing, not your comfort, and certainly not your consent. And what you are witnessing now, the attention, the fixation, the recognition from someone high up, is a manifestation of divine orchestration that requires no permission from you, no announcement, no strategy, because Allah knows what you cannot yet see. He understands the full scope of your potential, the impact of your presence, and the timing of your influence far better than your own heart ever could. And while you may have remained hidden, quiet, or content with anonymity, He has been quietly building circumstances, preparing hearts, and aligning paths in such a way that when the moment arrives, your existence cannot remain unnoticed by those who are meant to see it. And this revelation is not about validation, not about fame, not about worldly recognition. It is about divine preparation for divine purpose, a signal that your life, your patience, your obedience, and your unwavering sincerity have reached a point where Allah's plan requires others to take note, whether you are ready or not, whether you feel deserving or not. And though it may feel sudden, it is in fact the culmination of years, perhaps decades, of unseen effort, tests, and refinement. And in this unveiling, you are reminded that your life is not your own to dictate, but a canvas upon which Allah paints His will, and that every attention, every recognition, every step that others take to observe or follow you is simply a reflection of what Allah has already decreed, a confirmation that He reveals His chosen ones not because of their asking, but because of His perfect timing and plan. And your role is to remain steadfast, sincere, humble, and entirely reliant on Him, trusting that everything unfolding is precisely as He intended, and that this moment of being seen is a doorway to the next phase of your divine purpose. Chosen one, listen closely and let this sink into your heart, because this is a truth few will ever comprehend. What has drawn the attention of someone high up, what has caused their gaze to linger, their mind to circle back to you repeatedly, is not a sudden act, a fleeting victory, or a moment of brilliance. It is the persistent, unwavering pattern of your life, the quiet yet relentless devotion to truth, the patience and discipline you demonstrated long before anyone else noticed, the integrity and steadfastness of your character that cannot be faked, bought, or coerced. For worldly power may command attention, it may demand respect, it may create fear or awe, but it can never fabricate the kind of authenticity that comes from a heart fully surrendered to Allah, a soul that has been tested through fire, water, and isolation, and emerged uncorrupted, unshaken, and deeply refined. And it is this authenticity that cannot be hidden, no matter how many forces of influence or authority attempt to manipulate perception or rewrite narratives, because Allah has placed a seal on the efforts of those who are consistent in His path. And in that seal, He has encoded a magnetic clarity that draws the attention of those who are positioned to recognize what is truly extraordinary. And so, when someone high up finally takes notice of you, when their focus becomes more than casual curiosity and transforms into fixation, it is not a reflection of your ambition or your striving. It is a reflection of Allah's careful, deliberate orchestration, the unveiling of a life disciplined by faith, purified through trial, and anchored in sincerity, a life in which every small act of obedience, every moment of patience, every choice to stand firm despite adversity has built an invisible architecture of influence that power alone could never construct. And this is why the eyes of those in high places cannot look away, why they are compelled to trace the contours of your character, why they feel the weight of your consistency even if they cannot fully articulate it. For what they perceive is not merely your actions, it is the manifestation of Allah's unseen guidance, a signal that you are aligned with a divine plan far greater than your own understanding. And this realization should fill you with humility, gratitude, and unshakable faith, because your consistency is not a means to worldly recognition. It is a testament of your relationship with your Creator, a reflection of your unwavering loyalty to the truth, and a living proof that when a soul is steadfast in Allah's path, no amount of power, influence, or authority in this world can obscure its light, its purpose, or its inevitable revelation. Chosen one, understand this clearly, for this moment carries a weight that is far heavier than what the eyes see or the mind comprehends. The attention, the focus, the fixation from someone high up is not simply a gift, not merely a recognition, and certainly not a signal that everything will unfold according to your desires. No, it is first and foremost a test, a profound trial that evaluates the depth of your faith, the purity of your intentions, the steadfastness of your heart, and the sincerity of your obedience to Allah alone, because Allah does not allow His servants to be elevated without first measuring their readiness to carry influence, responsibility, and visibility without being consumed by ego, pride, or worldly desire. And this is why the moment feels intense, even uncomfortable, because tests are meant to challenge, to shake, to reveal what resides in your soul, and this test manifests in many subtle ways: the whispers of envy that try to unsettle you, the curiosity that borders on scrutiny, the pressure of expectation that accompanies recognition, and the temptation to alter your actions for approval or acclaim, all of which serve as mirrors, reflecting your true alignment with Allah. The higher the station of the observer, the greater the test, because those positioned by Allah to notice you are not merely passive witnesses. They are instruments through which Allah measures the discipline, patience, and humility you have cultivated in isolation, in hardship, and in silence. And the attention you receive is therefore double-edged. It is a blessing in that it opens doors. It is a warning in that it reveals your vulnerabilities, and it is a crucible in which your character is further refined. For even the slightest shift in focus from Allah to the observer can unravel months or years of unseen work. And this is precisely why the chosen ones must remain anchored, steadfast, and unwavering, refusing to let their hearts be swayed by admiration, fear, or expectation. Because Allah's test is not a moment to prove yourself to them, it is a moment to prove yourself to Allah, to demonstrate that your sincerity, integrity, and reliance on Him remain unbroken regardless of external circumstances. And as you navigate this attention, you will notice that every word, every action, every silent choice to remain grounded either strengthens your position in divine alignment or exposes cracks that must be addressed before true opportunity arrives. Understand then that this fixation is a precursor to blessing, a signal that Allah is orchestrating influence and impact in your life. But before the doors open fully, before the opportunity manifests in a tangible way, He wants to see how you carry yourself under observation, how you respond to curiosity without compromising your principles, how you maintain humility when admiration is directed your way, how you remain patient when envy and scrutiny attempt to disturb your peace, and how unwavering your reliance on Him truly is, because the path of the chosen one is never about comfort, convenience, or casual recognition. It is about proving through character and discipline that when Allah elevates someone, that elevation is met with obedience, faith, and unwavering alignment to divine will. And this test, though challenging, is a mercy, for it ensures that when the opportunity does arrive, it is not wasted. It is not tainted by ego or worldly attachment, and it is fully capable of serving the purpose Allah designed it for, transforming your life, your influence, and your legacy into a reflection of divine wisdom, meticulous planning, and the manifestation of the blessings that only come to those who are tested and found steadfast in the very moments that the world perceives as mere attention or chance. For what the world sees as recognition is in reality a test of the heart, a trial of patience, and a measure of the depth of your alignment with Allah. And only those who pass this test with sincerity and humility will be prepared for the true opportunity hidden within the gaze of the powerful, the influential, and the observant, because Allah reveals His chosen ones not to satisfy curiosity, but to measure their readiness for the next stage of divine purpose. And when you emerge from this test unchanged in faith, unwavering in reliance, and steadfast in character, you will find that what was once attention becomes a gateway to impact, influence, and divine alignment far beyond what the eyes can see, the mind can comprehend, or the world can recognize. Chosen one, understand this with the depth your heart requires. The attention, the gaze, the fixation of someone high up is not meant to flatter you, to bring applause, recognition, or worldly validation, but to place you precisely where Allah intends for you to serve, to act, and to influence. It is not about admiration, it is about impact. It is not about popularity, it is about purpose. And it is not about temporary recognition, It is about eternal alignment. For Allah does not elevate His chosen ones to satisfy human curiosity, but to orchestrate divine outcomes that serve His wisdom, His plan, and His creation. And this positioning comes with responsibility, unseen pressure, and a subtle but profound call to carry yourself with humility, patience, and unwavering obedience, because the world may perceive you as fortunate, talented, or favored, but what they do not see, what they cannot understand, is the intricate network of divine preparation, testing, and guidance that has brought you to this point. A preparation that required your silence when the world shouted, your restraint when the world demanded excess, your patience when others rushed, and your reliance on Allah when the noise of human expectation threatened to pull you off balance. Understand then that influence is not born from visibility alone, it is born from consistent alignment with divine will. And the moment you feel eyes upon you, the moment someone high up connects the dots about your life, your character, and your potential, it is a reminder that Allah is positioning you strategically, sometimes in spaces of power, sometimes in places of quiet observation, and sometimes in circumstances that feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar, so that your impact may reach farther than you ever imagined. But your applause, recognition, and comfort are irrelevant. For those who are truly chosen are not moved by human approval. They are guided by divine direction, and the world's gaze is merely an instrument in Allah's hands to bring about lessons, alignment, and opportunity. Every interaction, every observation, every subtle test that comes with attention is designed to ensure that when the time comes, your influence is authentic, your impact is purposeful, and your heart remains anchored to Allah, not to the fleeting admiration or curiosity of men. And this requires patience that stretches the soul, discipline that refines character, and unwavering trust that Allah's plan is perfect, even when the steps you are taking feel uncertain, unnoticed, or unrewarded, because what Allah builds through His chosen ones is never measured by applause, status, or recognition. It is measured by the depth of alignment with Him, the strength of character under scrutiny, and the ability to remain humble while holding immense potential. And the higher the station of those noticing you, the greater the opportunity, but also the greater the test, because influence comes with responsibility, and responsibility demands integrity, discernment, and total reliance on Allah. Every subtle glance, every thought they have about you, every conversation that touches on your name, is orchestrated by Allah to position you precisely for the work He has decreed, for the impact He has designed, and for the influence that will ripple beyond what the eyes can see, reaching hearts, communities, and destinies according to His perfect will. And this is why your attention must be focused inward, on your intentions, on your character, and on your unwavering obedience. For the applause you think you see is never the true goal. The true goal is alignment, influence, and service to Allah's purpose. And those who are able to carry themselves with patience, humility, and focus in the midst of observation, scrutiny, and human fixation are the ones who will witness Allah transforming what seems like mere attention into a platform for divine impact, a channel for purpose-driven influence, and a space where destiny itself bends to the alignment of a soul fully surrendered to Him. And this is why you must resist the temptation to seek approval, to chase recognition, or to measure your worth by human observation, because Allah's positioning is far more profound than the shallow praise of the world, and every step, every moment of endurance, and every choice to remain grounded while being observed is a preparation for influence that cannot be replicated, a platform that cannot be taken away, and a purpose that will echo beyond what anyone in this world can perceive. And when the time comes, you will realize that their gaze, their curiosity, and their attention were never about you. They were about Allah's plan unfolding through you. And the applause you will one day witness is not human, it is divine, it is eternal, and it will confirm that every moment of patience, humility, and obedience was worth far more than any fleeting recognition could ever provide. Chosen one, hear this with the depth and certainty your heart deserves. When someone high up suddenly notices you, when they connect the dots, when their eyes, their thoughts, and their curiosity turn toward you, do not mistake it for coincidence, chance, or random observation, for nothing in this world unfolds outside the precise, deliberate orchestration of Allah. And if He has brought you into their awareness, if He has allowed their attention to rest upon you, then He has already secured the outcome, long before their eyes rested on your reality, long before their minds processed your potential, long before their hands could intervene in any meaningful way, because Allah's plan is meticulous, comprehensive, and infallible. And every human observation, every moment of fixation, every whispered thought about you, is not outside His control. It is part of a divinely constructed sequence that ensures your destiny unfolds exactly as He has decreed. And this is why you must remain unmoved by human curiosity, unshaken by scrutiny, and untempted by the allure of recognition, because Allah is already the architect of the entire scenario. The outcome, whether it manifests as opportunity, alliance, elevation, testing, or transformation, has been written, secured, and protected in ways the human eye cannot perceive, and the observer, no matter how influential, high-ranking, or powerful, cannot alter what Allah has decreed, cannot twist what He has sealed, and cannot prevent what He has determined to occur. And this is why you must walk with complete trust, unwavering faith, and total reliance upon Him. For the attention you are experiencing is merely the visible tip of a divine plan that has been in motion for years, decades, and lifetimes, and every subtle glance, every thought, every calculation they make about you is already folded into Allah's knowledge, already accounted for in His wisdom, and already aligned with your best possible outcome. You may feel exposed, scrutinized, or observed, but this is not a moment for fear. It is a moment for absolute surrender, for recognizing that the power behind the attention is infinitely greater than the human power directing it, for understanding that their fixation is not the determinant of your success, your protection, or your future, but rather a sign that Allah is setting the stage for what He alone has decreed, and that nothing they think, say, or do can override the divine security He has placed around you. Chosen one, the awareness that you are being observed is not an accident. It is a signal that Allah is orchestrating influence, ensuring protection, and moving circumstances in ways that will manifest blessings, vindication, and elevation, according to His perfect timing. And while human eyes may measure, judge, and speculate, they cannot foresee what Allah has secured, and they cannot comprehend the layers of divine orchestration that have been quietly building around you, securing allies, neutralizing obstacles, preparing opportunities, and aligning events to ensure that when the moment arrives, your path will be clear, your purpose unimpeded, and your outcome exactly as Allah intended. And this is why there is no need for anxiety, no need for manipulation, no need for rushing or forcing, because the one who has brought you into their focus has already accounted for every detail, every potential interference, every misstep, and every attempt at disruption, and your role is simple yet profound. Remain steadfast, remain sincere, remain patient, remain obedient, and trust fully in Allah, for when He decides to reveal your reality to those around you, the outcome is already secured, the victory already written, and the purpose already fulfilled, and nothing, no human observation, no worldly influence, no force of circumstance can change what Allah has perfectly aligned, orchestrated, and protected for His chosen servant. And this realization should fill your heart with unwavering confidence, absolute peace, and unshakable trust, because if Allah has brought you to their attention, then the path is already paved, the battle already won, and the result already determined, and the only task left for you is to walk forward in humility, obedience, and certainty, knowing that divine providence has already secured what human hands cannot touch, and what human minds cannot fully comprehend, and that every moment of fixation, observation, and attention is nothing but the unfolding of Allah's perfect plan, moving silently, invisibly, and irrevocably in your favor. Chosen one, remember this. The moment someone high up notices you, is never by chance. It is a signal from Allah that your patience, your consistency, and your unwavering faith have been seen, and that your purpose is beginning to unfold in ways even the most powerful cannot comprehend. Do not be distracted by admiration, envy, or curiosity. Walk forward in humility, obedience, and focus, knowing that Allah has already secured the outcome, orchestrated every detail, and aligned every path for your success. Every gaze, every thought, every connection is part of His divine plan, and your role is to remain steadfast, sincere, and anchored in Him alone. Keep moving quietly but powerfully. Trust the process, and let your actions, your character, and your unwavering faith speak louder than recognition ever could. For when Allah raises His chosen ones, He does so with precision, protection, and purpose that no one can alter. So hold your head high, remain patient, and walk boldly into the life Allah has prepared for you, because your moment has arrived, your path is secured, and your destiny will manifest exactly as He has decreed.